All right, let's talk Ladd McConkey. Why don't we? Ladd McConkey, who was, so obviously we talked about the Chargers not having a ton of receiver talent. They got rid of both Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, which is they had to clear up money. It is what it is. But they didn't just get rid of those guys and then go from there. They did make an effort to replace at least some of that with drafting Ladd McConkey early in the second round. He was the second pick in the second round, so just barely not a first rounder. We got to see him in limited preseason time. He only played in one game, but I still figured it could make for an interesting video. So let's break down how he played. There definitely were a lot of plays like this where you see his route going to go towards the flat on a 3rd down and 6 situation. Hopefully he can get open there. If not, just run deep down the field, and maybe you can get open running deep down the field. The quarterback here for the Chargers first looks in McConkey's direction, and this is covered nicely by the Rams. This is more good defense than bad offense by McConkey, just because a lot of times these routes are, does the defense pick it up or not? Only so much a receiver can do other than get to your spot quickly. He got to his spot quickly, but the Rams just picked it up. So, no, this isn't a negative, I wouldn't think. Although when he then turns down the field, I gotta be honest, I think this is well covered. I think that the Rams player is doing a good job here. And again, this is where things always get difficult with making film studies in a small sample size. Is like, it's possible just a defender's playing this well, and like that makes McConkey look worse in comparison. That being said, this is Russ Yeast. That is the corner who's covering him. I think he's doing a pretty good job. This play's another, I think this is interesting, this play, well, with McConkey, where first you see where he is on the field, you see him go in motion towards the top of the screen, and I think that motion is really interesting. You see the play concept now on the screen, but I do wonder, is there a bit of a comparison to like a Detroit Lions or a Los Angeles Rams in terms of the fact that their best receiver is a slot guy? That's interesting to me. Now, I think the Rams and Lions, their best receivers are slot guys because Amon-Ra St. Brown and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua really are just like amazing guys. Like, I'm not sure if McConkey can live up to that hype, but it is interesting having a number one option be a guy who you might put in motion a lot. You see the Vikings do that with Justin Jefferson, a guy who isn't a slot guy, but they do that a lot with him. But anyway, the concept itself, just going to be a route trying to get open underneath. It's not really like a key route on this play necessarily. Like, when it begins, the quarterback doesn't even look in that direction, but I really like the route, to be honest. Like, I think he cuts smoothly. It's also well covered, so, like, it's weird to give too much credit for the route that doesn't get open. Maybe he could have tried to fake something a little more, but at the same time, I mean, you have a defender who's kind of where he was at, he was probably going to be all over that. So because of that, the throw goes elsewhere. It actually goes right to a Rams player, but is not caught. But still, I think an interesting play. I'm not sure what the main takeaways are there, but a lot of minor takeaways, I would say. And now I want to go over to some good plays, because I kind of started off with two plays where he was covered. Let's show him not being covered. Something like this, where it's a pretty traditional slot receiver play, right? Just try and get into a gap in coverage over the middle. This is very much, when you think slot receiver, this is what you think of. So again, Charger quarterback takes the snap, and you see, I think first does a good job not really giving away exactly what he's doing, right? Kind of goes straight towards the Rams player. The Rams player is moving in a little bit, but when McConkey cuts over the middle, he does get wide open. Throw didn't go in that direction. It is what it is. Quarterback can't see the whole field, so what are you going to do? But definitely, if the quarterback was looking in McConkey's way, that's a completion, and they're gaining a decent chunk of yards, making it a convertible 3rd down situation instead of a 3rd and 19. It's good stuff, I would say. Like, this one's another similar situation, in my opinion. It's going to be a route where he's going to be cutting in towards the middle of the field. But watch how he runs this. You wouldn't know that by the way he's running it, right? I mean, even right now, he could be cutting towards the sideline. He could be going deep. He could be moving back in towards the quarterback. You just don't know. This is the 3rd and 19 I was talking about earlier. This is just the next play. But he's doing a really good job at that beginning portion of the route. You can't be a successful slot receiver in this league if you don't run the stem portion of your route very well. But then also watch him, I mean, it's a little bit off screen, but he cuts pretty well on top of it. He was open over the middle of the field. Now, I get why. I actually think this is one of those situations where I actually think it was the right call by the quarterback to not put it in McConkey's direction because, He's not past the first down marker. It would only go for about 10 yards. They need 19, but I'm just bringing it up as a good example of a good route. Also, the reason why you don't throw it is because, as you see, they had a receiver who was wide open. It was Quentin Johnston, who unfortunately couldn't make the grab due to it being not a very good throw. But hey, maybe if he gets going, that would be good too. Maybe I can make a film study on him. But yeah, as a whole, for McConkey, I think this is good stuff. And also this one is one we got to talk about. 3rd and 4, which again, I mean, this entire play is what they got McConkey for, really. They're going to run this play to McConkey. He's running a route where he's going to cut just past the first down marker. You have Quentin Johnston running a deep shot right next to him. Hopefully he's going to get more attention, and then you can just pick up the first down. So when this play begins, again, I really love how McConkey starts this route. He is not making it clear where he's going because he could cut over the middle, right? A lot of times you like to do that because especially when the quarterback is on the hash marks towards the top of the screen, it's a bit of a tough angle going all the way to the bottom of the screen. You have to get pretty sizably open. But then McConkey cuts really well. He gets a window. It's a nicely thrown football, and they're able to pick up a first down. This is just the stuff that gets you excited if you're a Chargers fan. I mean, I know these aren't always the flashiest plays, but like, if you think about it, this is almost like a turnover sometimes. Being able to convert on a 3rd and 4 versus not converting on a 3rd and 4. That's almost as big of a deal as a turnover because it keeps possession in your hands. Now, this situation's a little different because they were already in field goal range, but still, I mean, the best teams in the league are usually up there with the best teams on 3rd downs, and definitely having a guy who can help you on 3rd downs, it just matters a lot. So yeah, that's kind of how I viewed Ladd McConkey's game, is that I thought he showed some nice things. I think that if there was hope that maybe he's going to be like more than just a slot receiver, I don't know if we saw that in the preseason, but like, I think to me, what I've seen is that he probably should be a pretty good slot receiver, which again, that's what he was built as. That's what he was drafted as. Why he didn't get drafted in the first round was because people felt like, well, are you going to give me more than just a slot receiver? It seems unlikely. It's kind of the logic behind drafting a guy like McConkey is like, he should be pretty good at this thing. And maybe he's not going to be a superstar level receiver. Although, again, like I said, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown, it happens that these guys become superstars. But maybe he won't be the superstar level guy. But he should at the very least be a decent player who can help us out right away. And we'll see how it goes. It should be an interesting, I think, run with him and with in the Jim Harbaugh scheme and all that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on his preseason performance. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.